On Wednesday, your Oviedo Lions boys basketball team faced off against Colonial in a district game. The Lions got possession first and Jacob Rose sunk a three assisted by Keamo Galloway. Colonial fought back with their own three-pointer. Max Strickland brings the score up to 6 with an assist from Mamouche Galloway. Kemuel Mims and Kayla Barr worked together to put up 2, making the score 11-8. Starting off the second quarter 13-8, Mamouche cut straight through the defense to make his own layup, and Jacob Rose made a clutch defensive stop. In the last seconds of the first half, Mamouche fought his way through the defense again to end the half 30-15, Lions in the lead. The boys came out of the locker room strong with an athletic layup from Keamo Galloway and another three-pointer from Max Strickland. Colonial tried to do the same, didn't work. J.D. Newman sunk one to end the third quarter 46-37. Jacob Rose made yet another great defensive stop and took the ball down the court for a layup. Max Strickland made his third three-pointer of the night, assisted by Dominic Flores. Spencer Rose made a quick move to take the last shot of the game. Your Lions defeated Colonial 65-49. With Roar TV, I'm Riley Finnegan.
I teach honors biology, I teach support facilitated biology, and I teach leadership. My favorite thing about teaching is when I have students that are struggling with fairly difficult biological concepts, and when I can see in class I explain it a different way. I explain it 2, 3, 4 different ways if I can, and finally they look at me and they're like, oh my gosh, I get it, and you just feel so successful, and they seem, especially in that moment, really excited about something that I'm super passionate about. So that's probably my favorite moment. So in leadership, I have 42 of the most talented, hardworking leaders on this campus that are all in one classroom for 50 minutes a day. And my role is really just trying to help facilitate the relationship between administration and the students. And then of course the kind of financial part of it, it's a little bit more teacher-led. But other than that, just making sure that they are making the forward progress that they're they're trying to do in order to make the school a better place.
I would describe Ms. DeLong as like a ball of energy. She is always super organized with her classes, but she likes to be like one with the students. I like that she stays balanced with all of the things that we're doing in leadership. She always has something for us to do, and she balances working with her biology students as well.
On December 10th, your girls basketball team played Winter Park at home in a conference game. Tip-off was won by Mandy Turner and resulted in an almost immediate score by Maisie King, assisted by Alyssa Doyle. In a penalty shot, Maisie King sunk another one to put Oviedo up 3-0. Winter Park responded with a three-pointer to tie the game. Alyssa Doyle sunk her own three from the sideline. With an assist from Jimena Rosasco, Berger Trevino made a layup to make the score 23-9. Winter Park would make the last layup of the quarter and make the score 30-15. Alyssa Doyle started off the second quarter with a free throw, and a great defensive stop led to a breakaway, allowing Berger Trevino to sink a layup. Alyssa Doyle sunk another three from the sideline to add on to the huge lead of 47-15 with 1 minute left. Winter Park started off the third quarter by taking it down and making a layup. Mandy Turner responded with her own layup, and Alyssa Doyle sunk another free throw. Maisie King made a clutch layup with 20 seconds left in the third. In a slow fourth quarter, Maisie King sunk another layup to make the score 58-24. The Lions would defeat Winter Park 62-29. With O-Town Sports, I'm Riley Finnegan. 2 weeks ago, Attorney General Ashley Moody held a press conference at our own Oviedo High School regarding vaping and her mission to keep the industry away from students. Jade Barquette, OHS student and SGA president, and Mr. Maitland, our head of discipline, both spoke at this conference about this vaping issue. Mr. Maitland gave us a little more insight into Moody's plan.
Well, what the Attorney General wants to do is to ensure that these vaping companies are not marketing to teenagers, basically. Several years ago, a few decades ago, they did the same thing with tobacco companies that were producing cigarettes. And they did show that they were marketing to minors, and therefore they outlawed all tobacco product advertising on television, radio, and news media, print media, magazines, things like that.
A modern example would be Juul's Instagram page, which has been taken down along with its Facebook page. Juul advertises their products like a cool accessory and not a nicotine-filled vaping product, which could be dangerous.
So the Attorney General is just trying to see if these vaping companies are marketing directly to teenagers, and if she shows that their marketing practices are focused on teens, then she will take legal action.
Our own SGA President Jade Barquette was able to say some words regarding vaping at school and the effect it has on students.
Throughout my 4 years at Oviedo High School, vaping has become more and more prominent among my peers and even recent graduates. Now that more research is known of the effects, students need to be taking it seriously, recognizing that vaping is not something to be taken lightly to fit in with their friends, but has serious health risks in the near future and throughout the longevity of their lives.
She wasn't the only student paying attention, though. Senior Allison Archer also expressed how she felt about Attorney General Moody's plan and the effect of vaping at school.
I do think that it's going to especially help those who are being peer pressured into vaping, but the people who are just starting to get into it, that's where what the Attorney General is doing, that's where that's really going to help. I think in general, vaping really affects a lot of the students at this school. It's a really bad habit to get into, and it is very addictive, and it can be severely detrimental to your health.
With Roar TV, I'm Riley Finnegan.
Most of my students know I'm a huge fan of Game of Thrones. If you walk in my room, you'll see it everywhere. I first got into it because I started reading the books, and I honestly don't remember who turned me onto the books, but I read the books all the way through book 5, was totally into it, and then found out they were doing the series, which I was really excited for, but I didn't start watching the series till about a year or so in, so I had some catching up to do. Now I'm just waiting for the last 2 books to come out, which will probably be when I'm 80. But because I love it so much, I've talked to my students about it all the time. We had groups of kids last year that were big fans, and we talk in class about what we thought was going to happen, who was going to end up how, who was going to die in what battle. So that was a lot of fun and a cool way to kind of bond with some of my kids. And my room now has quite a Game of Thrones vibe, which started with some girlfriends of mine. For my birthday present, they made me my very own throne, which is still in my room. It's a little worse for wear, but it's definitely my throne. And then I've got, posters and all kinds of stuff, Game of Thrones, all around, banners. But it just kind of reflects the geek that I am with stuff like that, and makes me feel a little bit more at home in my classroom.
I am the biggest fan of Shrek. It started as an inside joke that me and my roommates had in college. And it kind of just spiraled from there. They bought me a cutout, which I have in my classroom, of Shrek, and it's lived in my house until I became a teacher, and then now it lives here. And it's a good movie. So it started as a joke, and now it's like a true passion, I think.
I'm a fan of Ohio State because I was born in Columbus, Ohio, and all of my family up there are huge fans, diehard fans, and we live and die with the Buckeyes.